Coogan's Run is a fantastic anthology series, starring the fantastic Steve Coogan. Aha! Its episodes are engaging and tells 6 tales, with 6 different characters, all strange, funny, odd and mad. Written by Steve Coogan and a variety of guest writers, including Gary Linham of IT Crowd fame.
Oh, that is typical. Why did it done that?
And Patrick Morber, known for his work on the many different Alan Partridge shows that were aired throughout the years.
When you are an owl, how do you feel different?
Smaller, more agile, able to fly.
Hello and welcome to Comedy Gems, where I go digging to find less known comedies and review it. In this episode, we are going to cover the anthology show Coogan's Run and figure out, is it just dirt or is there a chance it could be a comedy gem? Plot. Each of the 6 different episodes of Coogan's Run focuses on a different character in the small town of Otley. The characters sometimes reappear in episodes not focused on them as sort of fun cameos which helps link the show together. The first episode follows Paul Calf as he joins a cult as he's bored, unemployed and wants to enjoy free love. Paul Calf is the only character in the series that I actually recognise from other works from Steve Coogan.
I said to him, you must be sick of all these people pretending to be your best mate just because you got a few bob. And he said to me, who are you?
It's a great way to get the audience engaged, and it made me have a lot more hope in the show than I originally had. You know, the familiar face and the familiar family meant that I knew that I was definitely in for a fun time. The second episode, which is also my second favourite episode for the show, is Death of a Salesman. In this episode we follow Gareth Cheeseman, the most reoccurring character in the show.
Just you and me on the town will get completely rat-assed. Yeah, alright. Okay. Bye, Mum. Bye.
Is the closest character in the show we have to Alan Partridge, and was probably the inspiration to where Steve Coogan took Alan later on in his career. It's a wonderfully dark episode which pushed Coogan to levels that I've not seen him before. The plot for this episode is incredible too, and it flows fantastically. Gareth is like Alan, but if Alan was a complete shit. Gareth has no redeeming qualities at all, and the only qualities that he does have is terrible parking and the unquestionable thirst for money. The third episode for the series is a tad different to all the others, and going into it, you know, I wasn't a huge fan, but if you actually focus, watch and listen, the plot is really good and the characters are brilliant. We follow Ernest Mott, a local handyman, and follows his story of a planning permission scandal and how he met the love of his life. Mott is a sweet character, and the story works really well, as throughout it, unlike a lot of other period pieces, it never really insists upon the time that it's set in. Mott's character pops up in a couple of other stories in a small cameo role, and it's really lovely to see him when he appears because of how sweet he is. Thursday Night Fever, the 4th episode in the series, and also my favourite episode in the series. The main character is so hopeless and is such a dork that you just can't help to fall in love with him. In this episode, Coogan plays a character who isn't irritating or a total arse, but just a bit of a coward. We follow Mike Crystal, a local performer, as he goes on a quest to get recognised and loved like how he deserves. He creates an alter ego and complications proceed. The comedy is funny in the episode, but most importantly the plot is what sucks me in. The character is so well fitted for the story, as it pushes him to become courageous and become the thing he is not so he can succeed. Moving on to the 5th and penultimate episode of the series, Natural Born Quizzes. It's fantastic. I mean, it's obviously dated with its portrayal of transgender characters, but not horrible, as throughout the episode all the hate given to her is from the antagonist. Natural Born Quizzes follows 2 mentally disturbed, quiz-obsessed brothers on the mission to remake the quiz show they did as a child, which went so wrong. This episode has a cast which you'll instantly recognise from other Steve Coogan ventures. The main 2 you'll notice though is Patrick Morber and the fantastic Rebecca Front from The Thick of It.
Hello, Kathy.
The story is incredible, and it has stuck in my mind for a while after I watched it. The ending is incredibly dark and makes the story very different compared to the others. And the final episode for the show is titled The Curator. Unlike the other episodes, this is the only episode within the show that the title isn't based upon a pun.
Tim, bugger off.
The episode follows Tim Fleck, who is a shy, up his own arse loser. He is a curator at a failing museum in Albany, and after his business fails and it gets turned into a steakhouse, he sets a plan of revenge in motion. This is my least favourite episode of this show, because of three main reasons. Number one, the character is so painful to watch on screen. He's so cringe, and not in the way that actually makes me chuckle, in the way that it makes me want to cry. The episode seems to constantly be pointing at different things and then also never really fully using them, and so it looks like it wasn't really thought through, and the episode is just really dry until the final 10 minutes when the actual revenge happens. The last point stinks the hardest for me, because even if you put the critique forward of that I might have the attention span of a goldfish, and that's why I find it so dry, A, I have watched Stalker, and B, the most exciting part of any story is the leading up, the story of how character got from point A to point B. And the ending is just very silly and unsatisfying because of everything that led up to it. Comedy. If you hate cringe or awkward comedy, then this could be a hard watch. It can be quite camp in certain episodes like Pull Calves, and equally dark in episodes like Natural Born Quizzes. All the episodes are cringe-filled though, which personally made me laugh my head off, but understandably it's not everyone's cup of tea. Each episode is so different, and so it doesn't really ever feel dry for me. Even the worst episodes within the series are pretty amazing and unique. Final comment. This TV series is a 6 out of 10 for me. Steve Coogan is in his element, and even though some episodes do drag in parts, the whole show is hilarious, with, most importantly, an engaging plot. The acting and the variety of the stories in the show places it in a certified comedy gem spot. But what's your thoughts? Comment down below if you've seen it and how you found it. And also subscribe if you're interested in reviews into unheard comedies that are amazing, strange, or possibly even mad.